vision, and are there different types? Hello, and welcome to Titanium Talar's Tarot, and today I will be doing another insight, all about visions. Now, we are in the Clairvoyance section of your intuition, and today is all about visions, and more specifically, visions in a sense of the two types of visions that I know of so far. The metaphoric ones and the predictive ones. Now, generally, the ones that I've seen, the visions that I've had, have been metaphoric. But I've also added the predictive one because I don't know if you're aware of Nostradamus, the individual that foresaw the Twin Towers falling in the Middle Ages. Now that was a predictive. What I'm saying is that there are two types of visions, right? Metaphoric and predictive. So we covered the predictive one, but generally the ones that I see are typically the metaphoric one. And the metaphoric one is just as important because it's basically letting you know of things that will happen, but through metaphors, not just an exact vision of what is going to happen. Because if you think about it like a vision, if you think about what Nostradamus experienced when he saw because the way he explained it, there were two fish that collided into things. He didn't have the context of what planes were. Back then there were no planes, right? So he had no idea what planes were, and so he saw flying fish. That's what he explained, I think. Please correct me if I'm wrong. But because the future is so you are not in it, and so you don't know how to explain it because you don't have the vernacular to explain it yet, right? It's just like you feeling I think I was talking about this yesterday, or if I wasn't, I am going to talk about this soon. When you are in this timeline and you want to create a new timeline and you suddenly feel anxious in this timeline, but you don't know why. It's not because of anything. It's just that the new timeline is calling you into it from the old one where you currently are, where you presently are. The new timeline is calling you towards it, and that not knowing how to get there is causing fear and anxiety within you. But it doesn't mean that when you get to that point, you won't have the know-how and the wherewithal to figure it out and deal with that thing that is causing you anxiety now because you don't know how to do it. I hope that makes sense. If not, ask questions and it'll be my pleasure to answer. So, basically, I'm talking about the reason why I talked more about Nostradamus and how the new timeline and the old timeline as well, and the anxiety that might happen from being in the current timeline and being anxious going towards a new one, the new timeline, is because if you think about all those fortune tellers in the past who were not witches, predictors, and whatnot, the reason why they were so they were kind of outcasts is because they experienced things that people, individuals, normal people who don't necessarily have these gifts, these abilities, and that created fear in them is because individuals who have these gifts and who have these abilities did not necessarily have the vocabulary to explain themselves, or the finesse to explain themselves. So they would make everything seem so big and so like out of worldly, because they didn't have the connotation necessary to explain what they saw. But if, like, personally, I've had a couple of visions that I tried to explain to my friends, the people I knew, right? And there was this once I explained to my friend things that I saw, but he was like, don't tell me, I don't want you to, to spook me out even more than I am. So what I did was that I just took out the fluff, which is I basically not dumbed it down, but I like simplified it, and I did not necessarily explain what I saw. I just explained what the message I got from that was. Now, and I'm going to give another example of another vision that I saw. But this one, I explained the vision to the person I was telling it to. And this person was kind of shocked by me having explained what I saw. And I saw this individual in a casket, but with a smile on their face. And when I told the individual about this, she was like, yeah, something's ending in my life, and I'm happy about it because I can't wait to move on to the next chapter of my life. So that means that something in the past, from the past, is ending, and she's moving on to the next chapter. In which case, it is very important to clarify with the person what you saw, because like sometimes, as I said, most of your visions are going to be metaphoric, meaning they will be metaphoric to you, so it'll make sense to you. Now, when you explain these metaphors, don't necessarily explain the whole thing, except if you know that the person is going to try and understand, knows that these things, like, in my mind, visions, visions are something that that your subconscious sends your way. So it's basically going to be metaphoric, just like dreams are metaphoric, right? So in my mind, visions are daydreams, right? While as dreams are dreams you see in your sleep, but they are both sent from your subconscious or your higher self. But in either case, they use metaphors. That's what I'm trying to say. So you need to be able to eloquently explain the metaphor so as to not scare the living shit out of the person that you're explaining this to, because I find that, like, seers in the past would do this. They would just explain what they saw without necessarily putting it into context and explaining it in a way that the person in front of them understands. Okay? And I'm pretty sure if Jesus, okay, had this knowledge, had this understanding, or would have had a way of communicating, right, eloquently with the Romans or with the Pharisees or whatever, right? Because don't forget, Jesus was knew that he was there to disrupt the how things were done, and so he's like, no, I'm gonna take on this role of shit disturber, and I'll do it well, right? To the point where I'm gonna be dead. To that point, I'm gonna drive it there, right? But imagine if he had the knowledge that we have today, as to how to spread our message and how to make everyone comprehend what we're trying to say in a way that is that will come out with a win-win situation. It would be great, right? I mean, I think so, but I'm pretty sure that Jesus would not have had such a big impact on the world history if he had not been the martyr in this situation that he found himself in. And so I'm kind of I'm thinking aloud, but I'm just saying, use all the tools that we have today to better your message and better the way you deliver your message to your audience. Okay? So, my gorgeous triple tears, this is all that I have for you guys this week for this video series. If you like this and if you'd like me to go deeper into your specific situation, please contact me at the email box below, and it'll be my pleasure to assist. In that same box, you find a little description on this video and the email you can send donations to on PayPal if you feel so calm. And with that being said, my gorgeous triple tears, I wish you guys all a very good week or night, and I'll see you tomorrow, okay? Bye.